Today on the podcast, we have Emily Samuel. She is a proud home gym owner and product inventor. She recently created the Booty Box platform, which will actually be launched any day now from Fringe Sport. So we are here to kind of talk about her background in the health and wellness space and then the product invention. So, Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Exciting times. I'm sure you're very excited. Do you mind just starting us off by telling us who you are?
Totally. So I started out in the health and wellness industry when I was back in New York. That's where I'm born and raised. I'm a founding female trainer of this gym called Dog Pound. It's a very celebrity favorite gym. It's, the hot, cool place to work out in New York. And we did so well. We opened up a gym in California and I helped grow that. And then I realized that I could, fly on my own and I would do just fine. So I decided to work on my own brand, which ended up doing very, very well. And I moved to Texas and I decided to it's funny, I didn't even decide to invent the product. It kind of just happened because it was out of a need. So when I moved out here, I bought a house and I'm not gonna lie, I spent all my money on my house and I did not save enough money to furnish it. And I mean, fully. So at least a splurge on the garage. So my garage gym, I had the cable machine, I had the floor, I had, the Smith machine. But that was like in a assault bike. And that was like to the extent of like the machines that I had. And I was like, you know what? Like you go on any kind of fitness equipment company and you can't really find anything less than $1,000. If you buy something off Facebook Market, that's also sometimes a little sketchy. So I just wanted to, create my own thing. So I I train mostly females, and if you ask females what their main thing that they want to work on, it's usually 90% of the time what they say is legs and glutes. So most of my female clientele likes to do that with me. So I wanted to come out with a piece of equipment or I needed a piece of equipment that was going to be cheap, not take up too much space because, my garage gym isn't huge, and something super versatile and great for all ages. So I really wanted to give something that was, and not corny. I don't like those things with like a million bands attached to it that just like, are a little cheesy. I really just wanted something that was very stood by the core exercises. You know what I mean? The staple exercises, functional training. I didn't want to do anything fancy. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I just wanted to make it more convenient. So also being a girl, I have nails, and I was sick of breaking my nails, dragging the plates to stack them on top of each other for my clients to perform deficit movements. That being said, it's also kind of dangerous to have your clients standing on the slidey plates. So I needed something that was going to be, that I could make. So I was thinking, oh, let me just get like two little boxes, kind of put it together somehow. And that's where I came up with the idea, Booty Box. So I called my friend Kevin and I was like, hey, can you make this for me? He said, yeah, sure. And he did. And so that's kind of how we got into it. He taught himself how to weld. I asked Kevin to do the middle beam part for the Bulgarian split squat and the hip thrust. And basically he made it for me. And I used that with some clients, loved it so much. And I was like, you know what? Like, let me try selling this on Facebook Market. And this was without the middle part. It was just the wood part. And that literally just happened to blow up. The numbers were insane. I couldn't believe how many people wanted a piece of wood. And I was like, all right, we got something here. And people started to actually bootleg them and start selling them on Facebook Market. I was like offended. I was like, all right, we got to take this off because people are going to steal our idea. And that's when we started to patent it. And that's when we started to get into like, okay, we really have something here. Let's bring this to someone and see what they think about it. So.
Do you remember how long ago this was and how many of those did you sell before you decided, oh, I think I might want to create this?
Totally. So that actually was like 2 summers-ish ago. And we sold, I would say about 150 of them within like
Oh
2 weeks.
man.
Yeah, he was working. And so our first mistake, well, we went to Peter and from Fringe Sport and he loved it. And he was like, I think this is great. I think this is gonna crush it. I have a million other products in the line right now that I'm working on. But so I'm gonna need some time. And I was like, well, I don't have time and I don't like waiting. So I had a friend, American friend here, and this girl convinced me that her dad would be capable of making these things. They both, spoke very highly of what they had at their facility going on and how it was more than capable of keeping up with the production and the quality was going to be better than China's and all this stuff. That was my biggest mistake ever was trusting someone and kind of letting them and not seeing it for myself, because this person was just making them out of the garage and just wanted a piece of the pie basically, and wasn't super honest with his credentials and basically like what he was able to do, because he couldn't keep up. He couldn't even get the influencer boxes out. It was bad. So that's when I was like, okay, we sold out. Like, I announced the drop though, so there was nothing I can do. Like, it was happening. So we sold out. We made a limited amount, sold out immediately. And I kind of said, I was like, listen, guy, like, it's way too expensive. The quality is garbage. Like, this is not this. I'm not putting my name on this. You know what I mean? Like, I can't move forward with this. Like, thank you. No, thank you. And so that's when I was knocking on Peter's door. You don't understand, harassing him, being like, hi, it's time. Like, people are harassing me that wear booty boxes when they can get one, blah, blah, blah. And like, I need you. Like, he said that he wanted to work with me and I wanted to, work with him too. So I waited and waited and waited. But I was so grateful for the opportunity because, as you know, a female in this space, it is so hard. Actually did the research into it. I'm actually the first female to ever create a piece of commercial gym equipment or at-home equipment. Like, that could be in the commercial space as well. So that was just an honor and a blessing that Peter welcomed me into, like, a male dominant space, and he gave me the respect and trust and treated me, I think, like he would any other man that would have came in there. And he took me seriously, and that is something that I will always be forever grateful for, is him taking a little 100-pound blonde girl seriously. And it meant a lot to me that he did. So yeah.
Yeah, Peter's a great guy. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because there's not many women in this, especially like the actual design space. So yeah, really cool. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you. But what did you say to Peter? Or what did Peter say back to you? Like, and also, did you reach out to any other companies?
I did. I did, but I also was looking into making a metal version of it, and I thought that was going to do well. So I reached out to a lot of places. I think I've sent you even pictures of the metal version, and it's too big. It would have weighed too much. I wasn't ready for that yet. I think I needed to start with just like the wooden thing first, and I think I was just getting like way ahead of myself. Um, so when I went to Peter and I showed him like my different versions of it, whatever, and like I showed him the wood one, I was like, listen, like, at the end of the day, I'm a business girl, I'm a numbers girl. Here are the numbers. Here's what it costs to, for us to make it. Here's how much we're making. We're selling the prototype for $350, like $300, and people are buying it. And it looks like someone made it in their garage, like literally, like your uncle Sal could have made it. You know what I mean? And we were charging, and people weren't even blinking. They weren't trying to negotiate. They're like, when can I pick one up? Like, we literally could not keep up with it. And I kept having to say to Peter, like, anytime someone would DM me or inquire about it, I would screenshot it or tag him in the post and send it to him. I have a big following on Instagram, so I annoyed the crap out of him because I had so many people hitting me up for it. And I wanted to show him, like, you are sleeping on a gold mine. And I know he wasn't actually sleeping. I know he had just had a million projects that he was working on. But I'm a very, like, I want things tomorrow. Like, I'm a very go, go, go kind of chick. But yeah, so I went in there, I showed him it. He's like, this is great. I love your platform. And I think that this is a great product, and he sees a market for it. And he's like, this is great. He does, he really specializes in at-home gym stuff. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes sense for an at-home gym. So he thought it was great. And he's like, I just need some time before we move forward with this. So he made me wait a year. He like played so hard to get with me. Oh my gosh. Like, it was so hard. I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm ready to go. But he finally gave in, and he finally saw the demand, I think, and was like, all right, I'm ready to give this my attention. And that's when I was like, perfect. And that's when we like really started having meetings and getting on top of it and changing designs and making sure that, like, the bar was perfect, the pad was perfect, like the storage thing was perfect. We had to like do obviously quality control. I'm sure you understand that. And yeah, so it's a process, but it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter's head can sometimes be up in the clouds, and
Totally.
he's definitely very busy. So, but
Totally.
1 year, so can you, so two summers ago, you kind of had the idea. I'm guessing like the next 6 months, you tried to figure it on yourself. Then you finally got a hold of Peter. Um, and
Totally.
can you tell me like what and also as I'm talking about the product, it's more than just like a box. You mentioned, you were working in a small space and this platform can do quite a bit within a small footprint. So can you tell me maybe like you how you worked with Fringe and what just like the for anyone who's just listening to this podcast, what does this platform entail today?
Cool. Cool. So I'll start with what the platform entailed. So basically, it's two big boxes, like I would say two, like imagine like two squat boxes, basically, like a wooden squat box, but then like a little thing that kind of comes together at the bottom that keeps them together. There are tops on the top of the box, each box, so you can step on it, and then on top of that, the lid's removed, so you can use it as a storage component as well. The box doesn't take up more than a yoga mat. You can literally put the box on a yoga mat and it takes up less space than that. So that's what I mean by space. It can do hip thrusts, it can do Bulgarians, like the main things that it does, hip thrusts, Bulgarian split squats, deficit deadlifts, deficit squats. You can do step ups, but then there are pegs inside, so you can do banded deficit deadlifts. Or you can do belt squats if you're like a belt squat kind of guy, and you can do banded belt squats. You hook a belt on, attach it to the bands, throw up two kettlebells right here or whatever you want, and take it away. So I also wanted to be, very, like I said, just cover the staple movements. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The top of the box, you can take it off and put it on that like divot area in the like meadow area of the centerpiece, and you can do heel elevated squats. You can also take it completely off and just use it as a deficit, like a reverse lunge. Do like reverse lunges off of. And it also has wheels on it, so you can move it around very easily. So you can do plenty of exercises, mostly for lower body. You can obviously do like explosive step ups, push ups off of it, like you name it. If you like, you can do single arm rows off of it. There's a million exercises you can basically do because it kind of doubles as a bench. So that's kind of why I wanted it to be so versatile and so much multifunctional, because I wanted you to get the best bang for your buck with a small piece of equipment. And when I showed it to Peter, like I said, he thought it was genius. And he says, there's a huge market for this. And he believed in it. He totally believed in the product. He's like, he needed me to wait obviously a little bit before he was able to roll it out, but he did, and he's a man of his word. And I do have to shout out to Drew, his partner. Drew is incredible. He does all the behind the scenes, like he's on top of his messages. He's on vacation and he was texting me yesterday. Like the man is a saint. He'll call me at 6 p.m. to like give me an update. Like he is, I think him and Peter are such a beautiful balance of each other. And like what the other one doesn't have, the other one does has, and they just complement each other so well. So I have to shout him out as well, because he's made this journey much easier and honestly truly like a blessing and easy.
Yeah, cool. How did it compare to the prototype that you originally sent?
So it didn't differ too much. The only thing was the bar in the middle. Like we had basically like you would need two hands to like lift it up, and then we had two pins to pin it in by the sides. And I didn't like it because it made it like wobbly. It wasn't like, it wouldn't stay fully still, and it was just a pain in the butt to do it. To like, it wasn't smooth. I need something that takes 2 seconds for me to change, or else I'm gonna be annoyed with it. It needs to be very convenient. If it's a pain in the butt to work with, I'm going to be frustrated. So you literally just take it up and then just hook it back in the middle part. So you can adjust if you want it to be high up, if you're a taller guy, or if you want it to be low down, if you're just trying to do hip thrusts off it. So that's the cool thing too, is that it's adjustable for height. You can adjust it to your height, to your wife's height, to your mom, your cousin, whoever. So it's kind of good for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to ask actually, or I wanted to hear you explain it. I'm a typical guy. I don't necessarily think I would look for something called the Booty Box platform, but it does do like a ton of stuff. Like there are like sometimes it can be tough to set up Bulgarian split squats or do belt squats in a home gym. So could you explain why maybe like your average guy, home gym owner, might want something like this?
Absolutely. So you know the mammoth belt squat that Fringe is like obviously like all over. That
Yeah.
is the perfect accessory to like use with it. So
Mm.
it can honestly just complement other exercises. Like if you really like landmine squats, you know what I mean? Instead of just like kettlebells, the landmine you can go way heavier with it. Now you can use that with the booty box. You can go heavier, increase your depth with the landmine stuff. I see you have one behind you. I'm pretty sure that might be a barbell. Um, yeah, but a trap bar.
I
But
have
yeah,
landmines around, yeah.
yeah, of course,
But
I'm sure you
yeah.
do. But it helps get with the depth on that. Like I said, I want, and it's funny you say that, the guys thing about booty box. So I have a really, really good friend and well-respected trainer out here in Texas. He is actually my mentor back from New York. He is the smartest trainer I've ever come across in my entire life. Anyone listening to this podcast should go give him a follow just because of all the amazing information you'll learn from him and the knowledge and the training. And most of the stuff that you can do is from your home with like kettlebells or whatever. But his name is Reinhard Nell and his Instagram is Rain Train. But he is very well respected, but one of the most manly men that I know. And I call him up and I was like, hey, I got a question for you. He's like, what's up? He's South African, so he has this awesome accent. What's up, Emmy? And I'm like, well, would you buy something called the booty box? And he laughed and he goes, well, what does it do? And I told him, I showed him, he goes, I was like, would that defer you? Like, would that make you feel like some kind of way? You know what I mean? If you were to buy this box. And he's like, no, I don't care. I don't care what it's called as long
Yeah.
as it's functional. Like, and his opinion matters so much to me. I'm not going to lie. And because I just respect him and like what he has to say so much. And I was like, okay, if he's cool to buy it, like he literally has like a Viking like braid down his head. If he's down to buy a booty box, like I'm not afraid to call it booty box. That's what it's going to be called. So, and it's just catchy. You know what I mean? Like what other name would you come up with? I feel like. So I just thought booty box is really catchy.
No, no, I'm with you. If the name deters you from purchasing, then like maybe there's other issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're here. We're talking on Monday. I probably releasing this tomorrow on Tuesday. So the day after is launch.
Yes,
How
Wednesday is launch.
Wednesday is launch. How are you feeling and any insights into what launch looks like?
Incredibly excited. Incredibly excited. So, like I said, I've been waiting for this for like a really long time. I've been working for free for a year and a half on this, you know, for almost 2 years on this. And launch basically looks like I'm just kind of building up the hype around it for now. Like that's really what it is. But to be honest with you, I have not a nerve in the world because of the insane feedback that I've gotten from any time that I post it. Anytime I post it, look under the comments, you'll see where'd you get that box? Where'd you get that box? Where'd you get that box? So like just the feedback, and I know and I believe in my product and I know that it's good. I didn't come up with this to make money. I came up with this because it was a solution to a problem. And I know that other people are going to need it. So I'm very confident that this is going to do very well. And then I have a feeling that it's going to kind of blow up. Because this is something that I myself would have 1,000% bought with in a blink of eye if this were me in California in my tiny gym. It makes training clients and myself 10 million times easier instead of going from one end of the gym to here to here to here. Just do everything in like one little space, and that way my boyfriend doesn't get mad if I'm going and grab plates in his like little workout area. You know what I mean? Like while we're working out at the same time. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Cool. So I've done a lot of these interviews, and one thing that basically all of them have in common with for like the products that end up doing well are is that it just started off by them trying to solve a need, like even a small need. Most likely other people have that need as well, and that person that ultimately created something and went for it, you know, reaps the rewards. That's pretty much all I've got. I mean, do you have anything else you want to say? Any other products in the works or anything?
Um,
Yeah.
no products in the works, just the booty box. I'm just really excited. I hope that everyone listening, you know, if you buy one for yourself or for your wife, I hope that you enjoy it. And if you like it, then post it if you can and inspire others.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll plug in the links to Fringe and update it with the new website and your Instagram account and anywhere else people can follow you or learn from.
Just Instagram. That's all I really care about. Yeah. And to buy the link in my bio, please, because then I get my licensing credit for it. So Please
Sounds
have the link in my
good.
bio. That's all. Yeah. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to do this and good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.